Hello, beautiful souls. It's Emily with Twins in Union, and I am back once again with a powerful reading this week. I've got the cards all laid out here, and I will get to them in just a moment. But first, I just wanted to say a big thank you to all of my new subscribers and all of my loyal subscribers. Thank you for being with me in this journey, and it's really wonderful to watch my channel continue to grow. I just started it in July, and I'm just, like I said, I just love connecting with all of you and hearing your stories and supporting you in your journey. And thank you again for all of your sweet, lovely, beautiful, kind comments. I just am continually surprised by all of the love that you are sharing with me, and I want to say thank you too to all of those who have purchased readings with me. It really means a lot to me to be able to support you in your journey, and you know, it's just such an honor and that you entrust your sacred connection with me. Really means a lot. And you know, just I really appreciate the positive feedback that I get from you about the readings. So I just wanted to say thank you. And yeah, so a couple of things I wanted to mention before I get into the reading are just some astrological things. We just had the full moon in Aries a couple of days ago, and now we are approaching the 10-10-10 gateway on October the 10th. So we have the month October, which is a 10 month, and then we have the day 10, and then we have the year 2017, which adds up to a 10. So we have a 10-10-10, which it's a really powerful gateway because it is like a culmination of everything that we've been learning, and all of that coming together, kind of culminating into a big completion. And then, you know, it's like the wheel card in the traditional tarot is a number 10. So it's kind of that wheel energy where, you know, we are moving through a completion and then going into a new beginning. And then we also have strong influences from Pluto right now. And, you know, like I've said, I am not an astrologer, but I do enjoy dabbling in it, and I like listening and learning from some of the other astrologers out there. So, you know, what I've heard is that we are being strongly affected by Pluto right now. And this is not only for twin flames, but, you know, for the whole planet. So we are seeing a lot of transformation and change happening globally right now. And, you know, we are going to be experiencing that in our twin flame journey here as well. And I feel like a lot of this is being reflected in the cards. So that's just, you know, a couple of things to keep in mind. This is a big time over these next couple of weeks for transformation, for ascension. And, you know, it's like we are peeling back another layer of the onion, so to speak, where we are getting to the core essence of our soul. And in order to do that, we need to go through these layers of ascension. So, you know, you might find yourself feeling like you're taking 2 steps back before you can go forward. But if you feel that way, then just know that it's part of the ascension process, and you are just clearing and releasing another layer in order to ascend to a new level. So I hope that that helps and can give you a little, you know, background information about this reading. It is a very powerful one, and you know, when I was shuffling and getting the cards, I was asking Spirit to show us the energies for, you know, between this full moon in Aries leading up to the new moon in Libra, and especially with an emphasis on this 10-10-10 gateway, because I feel like that's just a really powerful influence that we're under right now. So, that 1010 gateway is really being reflected in the cards, and it's exciting. So it's all about moving up in another layer of our ascension. And out of, I think there's 8 clarifying cards here, and out of 8 we have 5 major arcanas. So that's just a sign, a major arcana is a sign that is a more powerful energy that is being divinely guided. It's part of your divine blueprint and your destiny for your soul. So those are higher spiritual realms and forces, universal forces that are working on us right now. And so it's very powerful. But in the end, it's all good. It's victory in the end. So let's see. Do I want to say anything else about that? Well, I took some notes on the 1010 gateway, so I can just read a little bit about what I found online. Basically, it's an energetic doorway of all that has come before us that's culminating and coming to a completion, and it will expand our consciousness and our spiritual awareness, which is basically, how ascension works. It's also going to lead to endings and rebirth and new life, and bring us to a higher frequency by completing this cycle and moving into this higher frequency of completion and wholeness. Moving into new beginnings, renewed life, empowerment of soul wisdom, love, and what you have acquired. Okay, so those are just, some highlights about what this gateway is all about. Okay, so with that being said, with all that background info, I will go ahead and turn the camera towards the cards and we can dive into the reading. So it's a fairly large spread, as usual. It's my style. I hope you can see these all okay. There's a little bit of a glare with the sun since we've been shifting the planet and the sun's angle is changing. So anyway, I hope that you can see these all okay. And as usual, I have the divine masculine over here. I have the divine feminine over on this side. And then in the middle here are the union energies. And then I've got a couple of romance angel messages here. And then at the end, I will share some spiritual guidance from the Wisdom of the Golden Path guidebook. And I wanted to start too by just sharing the card that came up on the bottom of the deck for the energy cards. This is the Yin Yang card that came up, and to me this is a card of union. And we see these two individual swirls, one representing the feminine and one representing the masculine, and they come together in unity, in oneness. They are two separate sovereign beings, but they also create an energy of when they come together. And it's a number 22, which represents the divine union, the divine partnership, the 11 plus the 11 coming together. So, I felt like this was just another really powerful energy that wanted to be shown as part of this reading. And, it's important to remember that as we are moving through these cycles of ascension and growing and expanding in our spiritual awareness, that it is ultimately what is moving us closer to unity consciousness, to wholeness, to oneness, to union. So this is just, sharing that higher perspective of why we're going through these crazy, cycles of ascension. And, this is just a reminder that this is why we are here doing this journey and moving through the challenges and the obstacles, is so that we can raise our consciousness and get to this place of greater wholeness and unity. So I just wanted to share that. And let's see, so these are the Energy Oracle cards from Sandra Ann Taylor. On the outer edges, I've got clarifying cards from the Angel Tarot by Doreen Virtue and Radley Valentine. And then the romance cards by Doreen Virtue, and like I said, I've got the Wisdom of the Golden Path, and that is from Tony Carmine Salerno. So, okay, all of that being said, I will start with the Divine Masculine. And the first question that I asked is, what is the Divine Masculine thinking regarding his twin flame connection and his Divine Feminine? And so we got the Goddess of the Moon card. And, you know, we've just had the full moon in Aries. So we have, you know, some of that energy still lingering. And then, you know, we are getting ready to move into the new moon in Libra. And so the Divine Masculine, he has really been, you know, in a place of, this card is all about seeing the light in the darkness and going within and tuning into your intuition. So what I was really picking up from this card is the Divine Masculine is in a place of revisiting the dark thoughts, you know, peeling back another layer of his ego, and he's trying to find the light in the darkness. He wants to find the light at the end of the tunnel. He's trying to sort out what is truth, what is illusion, what is fear and, you know, darkness, and just moving through all of those thoughts again. He's been going through a major awakening and a major transformation. You know, I feel like the readings are always kind of a continuation of a story. And so, you know, over the past few readings that I've done, we've seen that he's been dissolving his ego, and his heart has been opening up. And so now this is another layer, you know, this is coming back up and resurfacing at a new level, and he's having to revisit these dark places in his ego mind and dissolve another layer of it. So these residual fears, residual ego-based illusions that still need to be cleared out are resurfacing in order for him to, you know, really get in touch with his truth and really see the light and bring that light, you know, from the higher realms down, really tap into his intuition, really going within and really sorting out, you know, what's real here and what's true, and, you know, getting in touch with this more feminine aspect of himself that is able to listen to his intuition, because intuition is a more feminine, you know, a more feminine aspect. And so I'm seeing a lot of mirroring and a lot of balancing in the cards here too. So I feel like, you know, the masculine and feminine have both been really balancing their inner masculine and feminine energies. And that's part of us coming into union with ourselves. We have to come into union with ourselves first before we can come into union with our counterpart. So, you know, I just feel like this is him having more thoughts around fears, insecurities, doubts, worries, illusions, trying to seek the truth, trying to seek the light. And, you know, the clarifying card that came up for this is really interesting too. So we have the Nine of Fire as the clarifier. So the Nine of Fire would be like the Nine of Wands in the traditional tarot. And in the traditional tarot card, we see like a wounded warrior, and he's got all these wands surrounding him, kind of like a fence, and he's like holding onto a wand, and he's standing guard, you know. And so, you know, that's an energy of, you know, that warrior energy and being protective and defending what you believe in. And so here, you know, we see this woman, and if you look closely, her face, the expression on her face is just like, you know, don't mess with me. You know, she's determined, and, you know, you can just see the determination in her eyes. And the card says, don't give up, protect that which you have created, have courage and believe in yourself. And so I feel like, you know, the Divine Masculine, a lot of these thoughts that are coming up for him may be around his self-confidence and fears of maybe reaching out to his Divine Feminine, and just feeling those feelings of like the unworthiness and lacking the self-confidence. But there's this part of him now that is like, you know, he's realizing that his ego is not the truth. You know, the truth is what his intuition is telling him, what his heart is telling him. And he's ready to fight that. And in this card, there's, you know, this woman is like confronting this dragon. There's a dragon right here. So I feel like that dragon is like the Divine Masculine's ego, and he's coming up against it, and he's just like, you know what? I'm realizing that you're just my ego, and, you know, you're the dark, and you're not the truth. And my heart is the truth. My intuition is telling me the truth. And I'm going to stand up for what I believe in, and I'm going to defend it. And I'm going to start living my truth. And I was getting the image of, I was getting a couple of different images. I had one image come to me of, you know, this fire-breathing dragon standing in front of the Divine Masculine's castle. And it's like he's trying to get to his castle, and he has to like fight the dragon to get there. And the castle would represent home, which would be like union. And the other image that I had was the going back to the image of, you know, the caterpillar becoming the butterfly. And when the, you know, caterpillar has transformed within the cocoon and is ready to emerge, it has to very carefully move through a portal, a tiny, teeny little hole, and it's a very careful, strategic process that if he's moving through that teeny, tiny hole too fast or pushing too hard, it can damage his wings, or it could make him die if he doesn't do it, you know, if he like pushes it and forces it too fast. So I was just getting, you know, these images of, it's like the Divine Masculine is going through another layer of this transformation. But, you know, we have a number 9 here, so he's getting close, and we're coming up to that 10-10 gateway, which is going to be a time of completing these cycles and moving into a new level of ascension and awareness. So he is completing, you know, whatever this fighting these dragons, he's completing the battle. The battle will soon be over. And we have with the Goddess of the Moon card, we have the 52. So the 5 is the change and transformation, and then the 2 is the divine partnership. And when we add those up, we have a number 7, which is the spiritual path. So this ego battle, fighting the ego dragon within himself, these thoughts, is going to create change and transformation within the divine partnership, which is the number 2. And, you know, it will create spiritual growth, which is the number 7 when we add them together. So this is, and I was just really feeling, you know, the energy coming off the Divine Masculine cards. This is a really powerful time for him. You know, this is big energy that he is moving through, and part of me felt like a cheerleader almost, like, come on, you can do it, you know. And it's like, believe in yourself, you got this, you can do it, this is cool, like, you're seeing the truth, you're listening to your intuition, keep moving forward, don't give up. So pretty exciting, very powerful stuff. Okay, and then I asked, what is the Divine Masculine feeling in his heart space regarding his twin flame connection and his Divine Feminine? And we got broken heart. So, you know, again, this is just going back to this peeling back another layer of the onion, going through another layer of transformation, going through this gateway into a higher frequency of spiritual awareness and spiritual growth. So he is, you know, transmuting and purging emotions in his heart, you know, and this twin flame connection has cracked his heart open, and, you know, he's starting to feel what is in his heart now. And, you know, now it's coming up another layer to be cleared out. So he's feeling this sadness, and we see this tear here. But, you know, this teardrop it's positive because it's cleansing tears. And it's washing away heartache, disappointment, grief, sadness, you know, all of the pain that he's accumulated from. It could be pain, you know, from family dynamics, you know, inner child stuff. It could be pain from past relationships that haven't worked out. You know, it could be pain from something that was activated in him for healing by his twin flame. It could be, you know, a number of different things that have brought about this heartache. But again, you know, it's all being washed away and cleansed away and healed. And something else that came up too when I was looking at this card was, you know, I was noticing the crack in the heart, and there might be like feelings of disconnect right now. Sometimes when we go through an energetic gateway, we can feel a disconnect in like our 5D connection, or our connection with God, or you know, we just feel like kind of this cut off, lonely, isolated, sad feeling. And that's a normal part of going through the gateway. So when I saw the crack in the heart here, I was feeling like, you know, he might be feeling the separateness, the isolation. Maybe he's feeling separated from his twin, and or maybe he's just feeling disconnected from his divine source energy. So yeah, I was just picking up on that. And again, you know, we have another number 9 here. So he is completing a cycle of, you know, purging and releasing residual heartache that needs to be let go of in order for him to move forward. So it's a good thing. It's, you know, it's good that he is cleansing his heart and healing his heart. And the clarifying card that came up with this was number 4. Again, we have a major arcana here, lots of major arcanas, like I was saying. And, you know, number 4 is the Emperor. And so what I was getting was, once he moves through this energy of cleansing the sadness and heartbreak, it will assist him in moving into the energy of the Emperor. You know, that will be the energy that he is ascending into as a result of this transformation. And, you know, the Emperor is a very spiritually mature masculine energy. And the Emperor is empowered from within. The Emperor knows that he has everything he needs within him, and he rules from his heart. So another thing I was getting from these cards is, especially this Emperor card, is that some of this heartache and pain that the masculine is releasing, it's on a collective level. It's part of the old template that the divine masculine has to break down for the collective masculine, because we've had, in our society, we've had more of a patriarchal structure where there's been this idea of empowerment being something that you get from outside of yourself through controlling other people, manipulating other people, through gain, external gain, whether that be wealth or power or material possessions. That is all the old template, and that is not true power, because that is power that is coming from outside of yourself. It's grasping outside of yourself to try to gain something that you don't think that you possess within. And the Emperor, he's empowered. He knows he holds all the power within himself. He doesn't have to control or manipulate or, you know, try to get ahead by hurting others, because he knows he has everything. The power is within him, and he rules from his heart. He has a pure heart. And we see, this is Archangel Michael here, who is also a powerful warrior. So, you know, it's like he's moved from being this wounded warrior into this powerful leader warrior. And we see all this like kind of yellow gold energy surrounding Archangel Michael. And that is all that solar plexus third chakra energy, which is our personal power and how we interact with the outside world. And so I feel like, you know, he's clearing this out of his heart, and he's moving into this more empowered heart space where it comes from a place of true power and authenticity and self-confidence and leadership. So that's, you know, what I was getting from that card. And this is a number 4, which, you know, number 4 relates to building strong foundations, stability, joy, bringing the spiritual down into the physical realm, and, you know, creating those solid, strong foundations. So this, again, it's really powerful energies that the Divine Masculine is moving through. Lots of transmuting lower level energies and purging old wounds, but, you know, it's all moving into this beautiful, strong leadership, warrior, empowered, you know, sovereign being that rules from his heart. Okay, so then I asked, what is the Divine Masculine needing during this time of the 1010 gateway up to the full moon, or the new moon in Libra? And so what he's needing is door to spirit. And I just thought this was so beautiful because, you know, we have a gateway image here, and so he's moving through this gateway and he's ascending. We see this beautiful white dove that's like representing his soul, and this dove is moving up and through this doorway, this gateway. So what he's really needing is, he's needing to open up to divine guidance, needing to open up to spiritual wisdom, needing to go through this ascension process. And, you know, we see all these little orbs of light here, which represent, you know, the angels and his spirit guides and all of the forces of the universe that are guiding him through this gateway, guiding him through this ascension process. And, you know, we see this color white here is representing the purification of his soul, and all of the gold. There's a lot of gold in this reading, and so the gold represents, you know, Christ consciousness, which is that consciousness of unity, consciousness of oneness, consciousness of compassion, consciousness of unconditional love. You know, it's that heart-based consciousness, spiritual consciousness. And so he's moving through this gateway beautifully, and he's rising up like this dove, purifying his soul and coming to realize his soul's truth. And it's just beautiful. And this is a 32. So we have the 3 representing that divine guidance and divine protection, and then the number 2 representing the divine partnership. And then the 3 and the 2 together make a 5, and 5 is that change and transformation. So as he's moving through this gateway, moving through this ascension process, you know, he's being divinely guided, and the divine partnership is being divinely guided, and it will result in this change and transformation through this ascension process. And the clarifying card that came up with this, again, another major arcana. So we have number 8, justice. And so what I was getting from this is that, you know, once he moves through this gateway and goes through this ascension process, that he will achieve justice. And we see these 2 pillars here, and this just makes me think of like the 2 strong twin flames. They're strong and they're powerful, and they're standing side by side, and just the symmetry, you know, so there's like equal balance, equality. And this angel, this is Archangel Raguel, and we see Archangel Raguel holding the scales there for balance. So this gateway and this ascension that he's moving through will ultimately bring out more balance and equality. And you know, we see Archangel Raguel holding this sword, you know, and the sword represents truth, authenticity, clear communication, clear thinking. And the card says, fair and just decisions, do what you know is right, stand up for your beliefs. And the part that really stands out there to me is stand up for your beliefs. I feel like that is really, you know, the mental part of the mental obstacles that he's moving through right now. His thinking has been distorted, you know, by society and family and religion and cultural beliefs. And so he's really having to like cut away, use that sword to cut away all of the BS. You know, like what do I believe? What's true to me? What's true to my soul? And what is all of this other stuff that's just been piled on top of me that isn't really my truth? You know, and I need to cut that away. I need to fight those dragons and get to the core of what is true for my soul. And that will restore balance, that will bring justice, that will bring things back into harmony. And, you know, Archangel Raguel is all about harmony and balance in relationships. And this is a number 8, which represents the infinity, you know, and it's like a perfectly balanced, you know, that infinity, when you turn it on its side, it's like a perfectly balanced, symmetrical symbol of eternal love, never-ending love. And the number 8 also represents abundance and powerful movement forward. So, pretty cool, pretty big energies here. I can really like feel it. It's powerful. Okay, so I will go ahead and go over to the Divine Feminine, and then I think after I do that, I just want to show you a little bit more clearly some of the mirroring that's happening here, because I think it's pretty amazing, the mirroring going on. So we have, for the Divine Feminine, what is the Divine Feminine thinking regarding her twin flame connection and her Divine Masculine? And we got the Anxiety card. And this is something that is just all too familiar for us divine feminines. So we see this woman, and you know, she's just like sitting all alone in her house, and she's just stewing in her thoughts and feeling like this anxiousness, and you know, you can just feel like the doubt and the fear and the questioning and the worry and the anxiety, and she's got, you know, her mascara's running from the tears. So, you know, she's just kind of in a dark place. She's also, you know, this is part of the mirroring, like I was talking about. She's facing some of her dark thoughts, just like the divine masculine. Her ego is creeping back up a little bit, and so, you know, we see there's this red curtain around her. And so red is first chakra. So what I was picking up is, you know, it would be really good for her to ground her energies. And a good way to do that is to go out in nature. If you have a park you can go walk at, surround yourself with green, you know, that heart energy. And then moving your body is really good for getting out of this headspace. You know, it's like that snowball effect, and you just like start building and building and building, and it gets bigger and bigger, and it turns into this big story that you're weaving in your head. And you know, it creates all these feelings of anxiety. And so yeah, if you can move your body, like if you don't feel like going out to a park, then just crank up some really high vibe music that like gets your juices flowing and makes you feel good, and just start dancing around like nobody's watching, and get your body moving, and that'll help get you out of your head and into your heart. I also was picking up too, you know, for some reason I've been feeling, you know, increased ascension symptoms. So as we are moving through these energies, you might find, you know, that you're just feeling anxious for no reason. And the last couple of mornings I've noticed, like, I've just had like this jittery, anxious feeling about me, and I'm like, I don't know why. I don't have anything to feel anxious about. I'm not a coffee drinker. My twin isn't a coffee drinker, so I don't think I'm feeling his, you know, caffeine buzz. So I'm just like, I don't know where this nervousness is coming from, and it's probably just the energies that we're in. And so, you know, for me, I really do love going out in nature and connecting with Mother Gaia, and it's just very calming to my nervous system. So you could just be having some anxiety that you don't even know where it's coming from, and it could just be related to the shifts of the energies right now. And, you know, this is an 18 card, so again, this adds up to a number 9. So we have a lot of completing cycles here with the number 9s. So, you know, this is her completing another cycle, letting go of these anxious thoughts. You know, and if you do have worry and fear and doubt and anxiousness coming up, you know, in your connection, then it's okay. It's just remind yourself, oh, okay, this is coming up to be released, and just let it go. You know, it's easy to like get caught up in it and engage with it and start to, you know, wonder what it means and try to analyze it. But whenever I have that happen, I just am always like, oh, okay, this is coming up to be released, so I'm just going to let it flow through me and let it go. And the 1 in the number 18 is new beginnings, and then the number 8 is again that infinity and abundance, and 8 is also representative of powerful movement forward. So you can complete this cycle of worried thinking and move beyond it. And the clarifying card that came up with this is another major arcana, very beautiful. This is the Star card. And the Star is all about hope. Hope, happiness, optimism. It says, happy times, make positive, optimistic, long-term plans, on the right path. And the thing that really stands out to me is being on the right path. And it's really easy, especially in this challenging journey, to just question everything and be like, you know, I don't know, do I really want to stick this out? This is just, I'm exhausted, and, you know, I just don't know how much longer I can do this. And, you know, that snowball of thinking that makes you start to question everything, and am I on the right path, and is this an illusion, and is this a fantasy, should I keep going, I don't know. And so just, you know, this is confirmation that you are on the right path, and, you know, it's okay to have doubts and worries. Just let them come up and let them go, and trust that, you know, you are on the right path. And the star, you know, that star is like that higher perspective. It's way up high in the sky, looking down. So, you know, remember this star that's up here, shining bright. That's the higher perspective. You know, that higher perspective of that we are going through an ascension, we are peeling back another layer, and in order to do that, we have to release and let go of these old thoughts that aren't serving us anymore, these old worries and doubts that aren't serving us anymore. And we have to look to the higher truth. And this is Archangel Jophiel in this card, and she's the archangel that assists us with beautiful thoughts. She's all about beauty. So, you know, if you find yourself in this space, you know, you can try those exercises, like I said, getting out in nature, moving your body, dancing, just jump up and down, you know, just if you can even just like get in your car and go for a drive and roll the windows down and feel the fresh air. You know, for me, just getting out of my house helps a lot sometimes. It just shifts your energy, shifts your vibration. And yeah, so you can also work with Archangel Jophiel and just ask her to fill your mind and your thoughts with beautiful, optimistic thinking, and work with her to assist you in that. And, you know, see all this green energy here? You know, this is all that heart chakra energy. So work on getting out of your head and into your heart. And I think that will help alleviate those worries and anxieties that can come up. And something else that's really interesting, I'm just noticing too, more mirroring going on, is we have a blue card and a blue card and a red card and a red card for both the Divine Masculine and the Divine Feminine in the thinking space. And, you know, this blue represents 5th chakra energy. So that's self-expression, willpower, choice, and surrendering to God's will versus our will. And then with the red, that's that 1st chakra, grounding energy, passion, desire. So that's really interesting just to notice, you know, similar chakras being worked in the thought space. Okay, so what is in the Divine Feminine's heart space? What is she feeling in her twin flame connection and towards her Divine Masculine? And so we got Archangel Raphael. And Archangel Raphael is the handsome healer. And so the Divine Feminine is also doing heart healing. She might have, you know, some sadness, some grief, some disappointment, residual feelings of rejection and abandonment. You know, it could be things between her and her Divine Masculine, or it could be from past relationships or family dynamics. You know, just whatever is wanting to come up in her heart. Maybe it's inner child, you know, her inner child feeling sad. So, you know, just remember that any feelings that might come up, just allow them to come up so that they can be released, because it's, you know, when we feel, we heal, and when we heal, we ascend. So, you know, you want to keep your heart open, keep the energy flowing. Don't close off and block your heart. You know, keep it open. Even if it's painful to release the emotion, just try to be present with it and allow it to move through you. And, you know, call on Archangel Gabriel. He is the handsome healer, and he will assist you in moving through that and help bring healing to your heart. He is an archangel that helps with healing the wounded heart, with supporting us in our health, and with supporting us in loving partnerships. So call on Archangel Raphael. Just be present with yourself and be gentle with yourself. You know, practice bringing compassion to yourself and being gentle with yourself and nurturing yourself. You know, sometimes these thoughts that come up isn't anything to do with anyone else, but we're just being hard on ourselves, you know, and so just be gentle. You know, look at this beautiful, soft, glowing, there's like that soft pink and that soft blue-green. That's that sacred heart energy and cosmic heart energy, higher heart energy. And so yeah, it's just such a beautiful, soft, gentle card. So bring that energy into your heart space. And then the clarifying card that came up is the Ace of Water. So as you move through whatever residual hurts and wounds have been dormant in your heart and need to come up for healing, that will move you into a new beginning, a renewal, a rebirth in your heart space. So the Ace of Water is like the Ace of Cups. And it says, falling in love or the resurgence of a relationship, spiritual growth and enhanced intuition, a new home. So, you know, as you work on healing your heart, then that will assist the Divine Masculine in healing his heart. You know, it's like we are a team. We are an energetic team. We share that energetic connection that is unbreakable. And, you know, as one twin ascends and moves through and heals, then that is mirrored in the other twin. So it's like we're supporting each other. We are, you know, running this marathon energetically together, and we're passing the baton back and forth and cheering each other on and helping each other move forward through our own personal healing work and our own personal spiritual growth. Since we have that energetic connection that's unbreakable, then anything that you personally are doing to facilitate your spiritual growth will be mirrored in your twin. And it will help take you both to this new beginning and this new level emotionally. And we see this mermaid figure that's just like completely submerged underwater, like just dive into the water and feel all the emotions. And, you know, it takes courage and it takes vulnerability to do that, but you know, when you dive into the bottom, there's this beautiful chalice there waiting for you with this new beginning. And this is a number 38, so we have, you know, the divine guidance, divine protection there with Archangel Raphael, and then we have the number 8 for the eternal love, the infinity, and when we add those together, we get the 11, which is the twin flame number, and then the 1 and 1 add up to 2 for the divine partnership. So, you know, moving through whatever residual pain and heartache there is will lead to this new beginning, this beautiful new beginning. And then I asked, what is the Divine Feminine needing during this time of the 1010 gateway and leading up to the Libra new moon? And so we got walking away. And again, here is more mirroring, where we see another gateway being opened. Just like for the Divine Masculine, he had you know, the door to spirit, and now the Divine Feminine is walking away, and she's walking through this gate here. And just to be clear, I don't feel any energy coming from this card of her walking away from the connection. So, you know, if that was a worry that was creeping up in your mind when you look at this card, then you can put that to rest. What she's walking away from is all of the things that don't serve her highest good and that need to fall away so that she can move forward towards the light, so that she can ascend to a new level. And through this letting go of what's not serving her highest good, that will move her closer to her union. You know, that's part of this spiritual process and this twin flame connection, is that it is a spiritual connection. It is a soul-based connection. It is based on our soul's growth. And it's like we are moving through this ascension process, and our souls are evolving in order to come together. You know, in traditional 3D relationships, it's like, you know, these two people meet and they kind of think, yeah, well, I'm the right age to get married and I like this person, and so let's get married. And then, you know, as they grow and mature, they realize they're growing apart, you know, and then they wind up getting a divorce. And so it's kind of flipped and reversed for the twin flame connection, because you have to go through all of your spiritual growth and evolution in order to come into union. And, you know, that's why it's this never-ending eternal love. It's beyond the earthly realm. It's beyond the 3D. And so, you know, think about, do a life assessment and ask yourself, what do I need to walk away from? What is holding me back? What is dragging me down? What feels heavy? What is not serving my highest good? And, you know, maybe it's something in your work life, in your career path. Maybe it's a person that doesn't resonate with you or feels toxic to you, or maybe, you know, maybe it's some of these anxious thoughts that are snowballing in your head. How can you walk away from, you know, thinking those thoughts that aren't loving and compassionate towards yourself? Maybe you want to exercise more and you haven't really started that exercise regimen yet, or you're wanting to, you know, change up your nutrition and nourish yourself in a more kind and loving way. So, you know, think about what is not serving you, and you can walk away in a really loving, kind way. And sometimes people will just naturally fall out of our vibration, and you don't even need to have a conversation about it. It's like they'll just naturally kind of fall out of your frequency. But, you know, bring your own consciousness into it and ask yourself, what do I need to walk away from in order to ascend? It's like, what bags do I need to drop, you know, so that I can keep moving forward in this journey, lighten my load. And the other thing that came up when I was looking at this card too is I was remembering a different card in this deck, and I went ahead and I manually pulled it out because I felt like it was like a story here that wanted to be told. So, you know, this is another card called the Garden and the Gate, and we see this little girl, and she's got this light pink dress on, and she's inside the gate. She's in the garden, and it's like this garden is like her comfort zone, and she can see beyond the gate, and she's kind of looking out beyond the gate, but she's kind of hesitant and anxious about, you know, stepping outside of her comfort zone. So she's got the key, so she could walk through the gate, but for now she's just holding on to her flowers and thinking about it, but kind of having trepidation. And, you know, in this card, she's walking through the gate. She has opened the door and she is walking through it, and she's no longer this scared little girl. She has matured into, you know, she's spiritually matured into this beautiful divine feminine, wearing this beautiful flowing hot pink gown, and that pink is, you know, like a combination of the passionate red and the pure white. So through the purification, through the walking away from what's not serving her highest good, she's moving towards this bright light on the other side of the gate. And there's a little white butterfly there, signifying, you know, the change and transformation that she's going through. So, you know, I just felt like this is exciting because she's not this scared little girl that's staying inside of her comfort zone anymore. She's a powerful divine feminine that is moving beyond the gate towards the light, embracing her transformation. And this is a 27, so it's the 2 and the 7 add up to a 9. So we have another card of completion, and the 2 is the divine partnership, and the 7 is the spiritual growth. So she's going through this cycle of completion in her ascension and bringing spiritual growth into the divine partnership as a result. And again, it goes back to that mirroring, you know, as you are walking away from what's not serving your highest good, then that will assist your twin in doing the same thing. And the clarifying card that came up with that is number 12, awakening. And so this in the traditional tarot would be the Hanged Man. And the Hanged Man, I actually really like the Hanged Man because the Hanged Man is all about getting a new perspective, having that aha moment, seeing things in a new light. And as you are walking away from what is not serving you anymore, you know, it will raise your frequency and your vibration, and it will bring about this new perspective that maybe you hadn't seen things that way before, and you'll have like an aha moment or an epiphany. And so, you know, that's that awakening. That's a very positive thing. And the card says, look at things from a different perspective, a temporary standstill. It's important to be yourself. And I feel like, you know, that looking at things from a new perspective, and then also especially that, you know, it's important to be yourself. And that's a big part of this walking away. What doesn't resonate with you anymore? What doesn't align with your soul's truth anymore? As we are going through this spiritual awakening, we start to realize, you know, hey, I never really liked doing XYZ, and, you know, my friends like doing that, but that's just not really who I am. That's just not me. And, you know, you start to realize these things and you start to change, but as you are changing, you're actually becoming more true of who you really are. And so, you know, don't be afraid to be different and stand out and just celebrate the beauty of your soul. And then it also says a temporary standstill. And, you know, as we know, this journey does require patience. But, you know, the thing that I was really picking up from that is that this 1010 gateway, you know, when we go through these gateways, it's kind of like hitting the reset button, where we kind of reboot. And, you know, it can kind of feel like there's a pause as a result of that. So if you kind of are feeling like there is this temporary standstill, then just know that it's probably connected with these energies that we're in right now, because we are undergoing an energetic reset. It's like we're moving through these old thoughts, these old feelings that are not serving our highest good. We're walking away from things not serving our highest good. We're ascending and we're moving up to this new level. And so it's kind of like a spiritual reset. So I was really getting that, you know, that temporary standstill was coming more from that. But yeah, and it never hurts to have patience either. Oh, and then I forgot to do, this is 12, which adds up to 3. So it's that divine protection, divine guidance, the Trinity, the third energy working through us. And the 1 is the new beginning, and the 2 is the divine partnership. So, very cool. Another major arcana. Okay, so yeah, I'll just really quick, so with the mirroring going on, you know, we have in the thought space, we're both confronting fears, worries, anxieties. You know, the divine feminine, when I see this card, I hear reach for the stars. So reach for the stars and remember that higher perspective. And then, you know, for the divine masculine, he's really in a battle with his own inner dragons right now. So we both are confronting ego. And then in the heart space, we are both moving through healing wounded heart, moving into a new beginning in love, moving into a state of empowerment. And then, you know, what we are needing right now is moving through these gateways, moving through these portals, letting go of what's not serving our highest good so that we can move towards the light and ascend. And it's just amazing to me, the mirroring going on in this reading. So, you know, the energies are very balanced. We're doing a lot of balancing right now, and we're in the sign of Libra, which is those scales and that balance. And so the energy of the union that came up is victory, which is just absolutely beautiful. And that's just so true, you know? Moving through these cycles of ascension, they're not pretty, they're not easy, you know? It's like letting things die in order to be reborn in a rebirth. And, you know, a new birth is exciting, but it's also painful to give birth. You know? It's starting a whole new level of ascension, stepping into new life. But it's beautiful. I mean, just look at how beautiful this card is. And again, we have all these gold energies coming through. So that's that Christ energy consciousness, love, compassion, unity, all of this, you know, ascension energy. And she's got, like, it almost looks like she's got snakes around her head, which to me makes me think of like the Kundalini energy rising up. And then we have this beautiful victory wreath here crowning the card. And, you know, celebrate and acknowledge yourself for all of the hard work that you're doing. You know, this is not an easy journey. It's very soulful, and it does take a warrior. So just acknowledge yourself for how far you've come. You know, think about where you were 1 year ago and how far you've come since then. Or think about where you were before you met your twin and where you are now, and celebrate that. And I just got the image again of like that running a marathon, you know, that we're a team and we are running a marathon together and we are crossing the finish line, and it's like victory and everybody's cheering and celebrating. So that's really beautiful. And then the 2 clarifying cards that came up, there were 2 that fell out. And we have life experience number 16, and then we have 6 of earth. So the life of experience card, that's another major arcana. And in the traditional tarot deck, that would be like the Tower card. And again, you know, this ascension process, it's like some things need to come crumbling down sometimes. We have to walk away from things. We have to let old beliefs die. We have to, you know, go through these life experiences that assist us in our awakening process. And the card says, a significant life event, a powerful revelation that leads to change. Time to spread your wings. And that takes me back to, you know, that image that I had of the divine masculine being at that point where he's ready to emerge from the cocoon, and he's having to, you know, carefully move through that portal, that tiny hole, in a very thoughtful, strategic, careful way so that he doesn't damage his wings or die. But it's like he's getting ready to spread his wings. We both are, you know, as we are moving through all of this, we are getting ready to spread our wings and fly. And the flying is, you know, the beautiful fun part, where you just feel free and liberated, and you're feeling, you know, the wind beneath your wings, and you're in like that flowy, happy, you know, good energy. So, and then, you know, we see the Six of Earth card, and here's this angel, and she's got these big butterfly wings that are spread open, and she's just flying through, and we have these big scales here. So again, this message of balance and equality and harmony coming through. You know, this is like the Six of Pentacles, and it's all about equal giving and receiving, and that harmony and balance. And you know, we've got that Libra new moon coming up, and that's what Libra is all about, is that harmonious giving and receiving and balance. And so, you know, when we achieve this victory, we are achieving this harmony, balance, equality, and, you know, we have to move through these life experiences in order to get to the victory, in order to achieve the harmony and the balance. But that is part of what it is to expand our consciousness, expand in our spiritual awareness, and that is, you know, a big part of what this 1010 gateway is all about. And this card is a number 28. So we have the divine partnership with the number 2, and the number 8 is that infinity, eternal love, and abundance. And then also the 8 is powerful movement forward. And the 2 and the 8 add up to a 10. And here we are with the month of October, number 10, moving into the 1010 gateway. And you know, we saw so many 9s throughout this reading, and now we're finishing off with the union energy of 10. So I just really feel that there is a new beginning coming, and we will ascend to this new level as we move through this gateway. And it's going to bring this balance and harmony and beauty and equality and giving and receiving, and more of this Christ consciousness, awareness, love, compassion, unity. So, very, very beautiful. Okay, so that's pretty much sums it up for the energy cards. And then I do have a couple of romance messages here. So the divine masculine's message to his divine feminine is attraction. And so what I was really getting from this card is just, you know, being in your joy, being in the present moment, letting go. I felt like there was a connection between these two cards. You know, look at the woman in in the anxiety card, and then look at the woman in the attraction card. And, you know, look at the energies of both of these women. And, you know, this is the energy that is going to magnetically pull in the divine masculine. You know? Like, which person would you feel more drawn to and attracted to? So, you know, and it's not to say, like, if you have, you know, doubts and anxieties and worries and fears come up, that's bad, and it means that you're repelling your divine masculine, because we're human and we all have this, and it's okay. Just work on bringing that compassion to yourself if you find yourself in this energy, because we all go there, and it's part of this ascension process. So, you know, but just, you know, your divine masculine is letting you know that he wants you to be happy. He loves seeing you just enjoying your life and stopping to smell the roses and nurturing yourself and doing what brings you joy. And, you know, that is beautiful and attractive, and he loves seeing you in this relaxed state that's not worried and stressed out and anxious, you know. He loves seeing you happy because he feels happy when you're happy. So keep that in mind, and, you know, keep reaching for the stars and filling your thoughts with those beautiful thoughts, and just getting out in nature. Like, she's surrounded by all of this green heart energy and smelling this rose. And, you know, fragrances, like the perfume of a rose, just is like the perfect remedy for sadness and depression. Like, it's impossible to smell a rose and not feel good. And I used to live in the Rose City, and they had roses lined all up and down the streets. So you could just always literally stop and smell the roses. And if I was having a rough day and feeling down in the dumps, I would just smell a rose and I would just automatically feel better. It just helps raise your vibration. So, you know, if you have pretty flowers to smell or essential oils that you like, you know, the power of fragrance or a perfume that makes you feel in touch with your femininity, then, you know, embrace that. And what is the divine feminine's message for her divine masculine? And 2 cards came out, and we have reconciliation and true love. So what I was getting when I was looking at these cards is the divine feminine wants her masculine to know, you know, first of all, this is true love. This is not like the fluffy, surfacey Hollywood romance novel kind of love. This is a soul connection that is very real and very deep, and it is based on this ascension where we are moving through layers. We're having to confront our fears, we're having to confront illusions, we're having to break down these old templates that, you know, are not serving humanity, and we are pioneering the new template for the new earth. We are creating a new template for relationships for generations to come. This is the real deal. You know, and don't worry about if you are wanting to reconcile, or if you are worried that your divine feminine might, you know, not forgive you, or you're feeling hesitant about reaching out to her, because, you know, this is true love. It's unconditional love, and it's beyond, like I was saying, it's beyond this earthly realm. And, you know, we are going through these challenging ascension processes, busting these old templates, and as a result we have painful interactions, but they're all there to teach us and to help us grow in our spiritual path. And that is what true love is. And just look at how open she is. Her chest is like wide open, her heart is wide open. and she's open and ready to receive, and she forgives, because this is beyond, I mean, they're like floating up above beyond the earthly realm. So, you know, this transcends all of the earthly interactions. This is a bond that is much deeper than that. This is, you know, it says, someone from your past is returning to you. And this is a bond that has lasted, you know, tens of thousands of years that you have shared lifetimes together. So, you know, this is so beyond any kind of anything from even this lifetime. And you are healing thousands of years of ancestral wounding and feminine wounding and masculine wounding, and you know, it couldn't get more true and more real than that. So that's what she wants you to know. Okay, and then I've got a couple of final cards with spiritual guidance for the masculine and the feminine. So for the masculine, and this is from the Wisdom of the Golden Path guidebook. And so for the masculine, we have abundance from within. And I will read that from the book. It says, "You must stop thinking that others are somehow better than you, for in reality, they are not. When you let go of this distorted view, your unique talents will be visible to yourself and others. You may have many special qualities and gifts. From now on, every time you see a quality you like in another person, check to see where that same quality is within you. It might be hidden, but without a doubt it will be there in one form or another. You deserve abundance, to be and to have all your heart desires. But first, you must feel abundant on the inside. Only when you are able to feel the abundance within will it manifest externally. As your perceptions are brought into balance, you become a more effective force in the world. And acknowledging the abundance within and the many beautiful qualities you possess, you will open the way for an endless stream of abundance to flow through your life." And the affirmations are, "I love and honor my many spiritual gifts and qualities. I give thanks for the abundance within and around me. My life is an endless flow of abundance. A river of gold flows through my heart." So again, we have that gold energy there flowing through the heart. And to me, this just really ties in with this Emperor card. You know, like I was saying earlier, the Emperor, he is abundant from within. He knows that he holds all the power, all of the gifts within him. And that is where his power comes from. That is true empowerment. That is true leadership. And he leads with his heart. And, you know, just if you find yourself comparing yourself with other men and feeling like, you know, you're not good enough, or you're not whatever enough, or you don't have enough money, or you need to be at a different place in your career, or blah, 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 you know, those are all just thoughts that aren't necessarily truth. So start noticing if you are looking at someone else and admiring something about what they have or what they're doing, find it within you, because you already have it within you. It's like they are mirroring back to you what you already possess. And you are this strong leader. You are a warrior, and you have this beautiful heart, you know, that's got this gold energy of love and compassion and, you know, confidence all around it. So just remember that. Okay, and then for the Divine Feminine, I thought it was interesting because the Divine Masculine got the first card in the deck, And the Divine Feminine got the very last card in the deck. So, it's Wisdom. And, you know, both of these cards have all this green heart energy all around them. So I will read from this in the book. The greatest wisdom is to see through appearances, and this card confirms that you have taken the right course of action and have responded in the correct manner. Sometimes the best thing for all concerned is to have the strength to say no. Your recent response will empower and help both you and others. You have shown great wisdom by standing in your truth, and yet you have done this with great love and respect for yourself and others. You are like the willow whose branches sway with the wind, but whose roots remain firmly embedded within the earth. Life is constantly changing, but its core essence remains the same. Love and wisdom do not change, they only grow stronger. Continue to live and respond to all in your life through love and truth, for in doing so, you honor the spirit of all living things. And the affirmations say, I listen to my inner wisdom. I stand firm in my truth. Life is constantly changing, but love and wisdom only grow stronger. So, a couple of things. I feel like this is just wrapping up for the Divine Feminine is, you know, like the Star card. You are on the right path, and don't question that. You don't need to question that. You know, see from that higher perspective from the star. Reach for the stars. And you have all the truth within you. Look into your heart. That's where the truth is. That's where the answers are. You know, this soft, loving, compassionate energy within your heart holds all the answers and will help you stay on track. So you are on track, and you can say no and walk away with wisdom and love and compassion and kindness from anything that is not serving your highest good. And it's okay for you to move towards that light. Move towards what is for your highest and best good. And, you know, you can use your wisdom to help you remember, I am on the right path, and I know my truth, and I am bringing in this Divine Feminine wisdom and love to move towards what's for my highest good. So that wraps it up for this reading, this powerful reading. And I hope that, you know, this was beneficial for you and gave you, you know, some guidance and clarity and understanding about the energies that we are in and that we are moving through over the next couple of weeks. And, you know, if you feel like you would like guidance in your own union, in your own twin flame connection, and you feel guided to reach out to me, I will put all of my information in the description box below. And I always set the intention for all of my readings, private readings, and for the collective, for it to be for our highest good, for your highest good, the highest good of your twin, and the highest good for all twin flames and for your union. So, you know, I do hope that this brought you clarity and healing, and that it served you well. So I'm sending you all so much love and light, and wishing you many blessings in your journey. Take care. Bye-bye.